Hi everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Persona 4 Golden. We're on to part number 53 and the story's really starting to get going again. Now at this point what's gonna pretty much happen is that we are gonna get called to the Velvet Room once again. And at this point, when this particular Velvet Room thing happens, this is pretty much the splitting point. This cutscene is pretty much pretty much from this point onwards you aren't going to be able to continue. I'm trying to word it correctly. Basically from this point,
splendid.
This is the point at which the story is either going to go one way or the other. You're either going to go towards the... But at this point, depending on what choices you've made, you are going to either go towards the neutral ending, the good ending, or the bad ending. And even if you're going towards the good ending, you can also get the accomplice ending. So basically, this whole thing is... Basically, at this point, it's just like... It's just basically going over the social links that you have maxed out, and it's going over the all the plot type things that we've gone through at this point, depending on what choices that you've made. And
we leave any unanswered questions behind,
this allows you to, and so basically this is the point where it's the point of no return, and the whatever ending you're en route to is the ending you're en route to. That's pretty much all there is to it. You're at, you know, you can't really change what ending you're going towards now at this point. So from here it's pretty much, you're going toward, it's pretty much at this point where it's like, okay, this is the ending that you're getting, you can't stop it at this point.
We'll be parked for the moment while I confirm our current heading.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty much saying which way are you going to go. Are you going to go good, bad, or neutral?
Though there isn't much time left, it can be worth your while to take the time to stop.
Yeah, right, Ego. There's not much time left. Just another, you know,
are like water flowing in a river.
Good 10 or 20 hours left of this fucking story. It takes forever. Oh god. It does take a long time to get going, this story, man.
Some change their course.
One of the worst part, I only have one real negative about this game, apart from the Nanako thing. But the biggest problem I always have when starting this game up again is the beginning, because it takes so fucking long to get going with the story. It always takes me so, it just... The introduction takes a good... God damn, man. The introduction takes a good couple of hours to get through, which is not fun every single time I play this game, but yeah. Or every subsequent time that I've wanted to play through the game again. First time it was fine.
I looked all over the neighborhood, but I couldn't find him anywhere.
And now Teddy's missing. When it rains, it pours.
I hope so. Rise and the others are checking inside the TV to see if he's gone back to the other side. We're meeting pretty soon.
Okay.
So will you come with me to Jeunesse?
So now Teddy is gone, but we can't really focus on that too heavily at this point, because we've got to meet up to talk about what's happening with Namatame and find out what's happening with the murders and all that.
We can't find him.
No luck for me either.
God damn it.
I didn't sense anything over there. The fog's so dense it might be affecting my readings. I wish I could do better.
That is entirely possible. Although, why was the...
He really went back to his
shouldn't
world
the...
this time.
Oh, that's something... something I didn't realise about the story before. That there's no... That the fog is still in there as well. Weird. This may be a time for contemplation rather than action. Yep, they pretty much tell you here that it's pretty much
He plays dumb a lot.
We've just it pretty much is you've got to just think
anything, right?
about what on earth's going on, rather than trying to
trust in him and await his return.
act
right
and
now we
stop
must concentrate
stuff from
on the
happening.
case. It won't be long
You have to
Namatame is
think about
transferred
what
to
you're
another
doing at this
location.
point.
We must hurry, or we will miss our only chance to get his perspective on this.
You know, I've been thinking about the case since, but something
Yeah,
just doesn't
so
seem
there's
right.
pretty much at this point with
Let's
the
quickly
decision
review
is
the
that
facts. Of all the victims, only 2 were killed.
we have to
Miss Yamano,
find
the announcer, and
we have to talk to
Saki-san.
Namatame
From
to
the
find out
documents
what
we found in the
the
car,
hell's
we
going
know
on with him
Namatame
and find
had
out his
some sort
side of the
dealings
story.
with them. After that, there were multiple
But we only have
we were targeted.
a little bit of time
It was
because he's got to
only
be
when he
moved to
told
another hospital,
Nanako-chan that we caught him
so
in
we
the
have
act,
to pretty much
identifying
do
his
it in the
modus
next
operandi in the
few
process.
days.
Want to hear you put it
Yeah,
like
very,
that.
very soon. So
Sounds
there
like
you
the
go.
dude's guilty.
As a result of Namatame's arrest, the police admitted that Mitsuo Kubo was a mere copycat killer.
Back up to yesterday. Remember
Yes,
when you said Namatame didn't have a motive to
that
kill
is
the
fine.
announcer?
That has finally
That's
been put
what's
to bed.
bothering me.
Right.
They do.
Either
I've
he's
never
completely
noticed
nuts,
actually
or
that
we're
they do
misunderstanding
a
something.
few red herrings throughout the
You
game,
lost me.
which I
She's trying to say that
kinda
if
like,
Namatame is
I guess.
sane, then there may be facts
It
in
makes
the
it
case
interesting
we
at
don't
the very
know about
least.
yet. Sane or insane? Sounds like a play I saw before.
When he talks about saving people, what does that actually mean? I don't think there's any
And
doubt
that's
that
the
it
key
includes
fucking
kidnapping
point.
people and throwing them into the TV.
That is the key point as
Did
to
he
what
mean
he means,
saving them
because,
through death?
like I've said
He
before,
did call himself a savior, and
you would have
said
thought
the
that
other
if
side is a wonderful
killing
world.
people was saving them, he would have
So they'll
thought,
be
then he
saved
would
if
have
they
freaked out
die?
more at seeing
What a bunch of crap. The bastard should have gone and saved himself.
Rise
What do you
and
think, senpai?
Chie and Kanji and Naoto and Yukiko. He would have seen
think about it
them
normally, it's
and
gotta
would have
be.
thut that he'd
There
failed.
ain't nothing normal
But
about
considering he
that
didn't
world
really
anyways.
freak out all that much when he saw them,
There's something I've been wondering about for a while.
you
When
could probably
we
make
first
the assumption.
encountered him, he
well,
said,
yeah,
"You're
you
the
could probably
ones I
make the
saved.
assumption that
Don't worry, I'll save this
when he
girl
means
too."
saving them, he actually does
So,
mean saving them,
If he
whatever he
saves
means by
people
that,
by
as in
killing them,
not killing them.
did he save us too? Wouldn't he actually have failed to save us?
And that is the primary point
You raise
there,
a good
Yukiko.
point. If he thinks that salvation comes only through death, his words to us make no sense. And another thing,
Yep.
the Namatame who appeared on the
It makes no
Midnight Channel
sense as to
said
why he would
failed to
be
save
so
Nanako-chan.
calm and saying that he saved them
maybe
if
he really was
saving
trying
them
to
means
save the
killing
victims
them.
by putting them inside the TV. Come on, don't get all
I do love
quiet
that.
like that.
That happens
you guys
near
know
the
I
end
just
of
say
the-
the first dumb thing that pops into my head.
I do love that. That happens a fair bit throughout the
Possibility that he
first,
truly
like near the end of the
intended to
game.
save us.
But he's still the one who
Is
threw
like
inside
Chie
Senpai and
coming
that
up with
announcer,
a
right? Sure,
an
we haven't
answer,
nailed down his
or
motives,
coming
but
out
that
with
doesn't
a
change the fact that he killed
possible
them.
solution to the
Or
problem,
what?
and
You
everybody's
think
like,
someone else was
"Huh?
involved? What
That
makes you
really
think
come
so?
from you," which is kind of a little bit nasty, I think. But whatever. Could there be something that proves the possibility? It's Namatame's diary, I believe.
Warning
Did I pick the
letter.
warning letter?
Oh yeah. Whatever happened to that thing?
If Namatame's the killer, he must have been the one who wrote it, right?
Let's review them.
Let's review those letters. Don't rescue anymore. And the second one said, if you put
Yes,
if you
that's right.
there.
Isn't that kind of
There.
odd? Would someone who thinks
Second
he's
one said
saving
if you stop
people
me
by
this time,
killing
then
them
we'll
write
kill.
stuff like don't rescue or kill?
Yeah, and the will be put in and killed
Yes, and that
part
is
doesn't
also a
make
very
sense
good
either.
point, because
If the killer was
Namatame talks
writing
about
it,
rescuing.
Wouldn't it be more like I'll put in
Um,
and kill?
He talks about rescuing people.
Could this mean?
So he wouldn't really put.
yeah,
He wouldn't really talk about
almost
killing, and he wouldn't talk
someone
about
else wrote this
stop
letter.
rescuing people.
But
because
only the killer would write such a letter and deliver
He
it
doesn't
to
seem to know
Dojima-san's
that we're
house,
going
right?
into the world,
If
to
someone
the
else wrote it, that could only
or at least he
mean-
didn't seem to have prior knowledge before
Dear
we actually
God.
met him in the
Since this is
other
such
world.
an unusual case,
That
I was absolutely
he
convinced that other than the Kubo incident,
he didn't seem to have
there
the
was
knowledge that
one
we were
culprit.
saving people. So
So Namatame really
that letter was sent to
trying
us
save his
before.
victims?
Everything is exactly the
we met him in the
opposite
other
of
world.
what it first seemed.
So that would it
In
doesn't make
Namatame's
a lot of
parlance,
sense.
Failing would have been the first two
It doesn't make
cases
sense that
when
he
the
would
victims died.
do it
If he
in
had
that
used his method
way, if you know what I
twice
mean.
and failed
It
both
doesn't make a whole lot of
times,
sense
he would hardly have
that
continued
he
using
would
the TV.
write that in a
And
letter,
yet he did.
because he
It
wouldn't
all
know
seems
that we
to
were the ones
suggest
who were
that
rescuing
someone else wrote this
rescuing
warning
the
letter while
people
observing the
who were put into the
entire
TV
case.
world, which is kind of, so it
Someone
doesn't really make a
Then-
lot of sense.
It wasn't Namatame that killed Saki-senpai and the announcer?
We can't say for certain yet.
Can't say for certain, but
urgently
it
need to speak
seems
with
like all
Namatame
the
face to face.
what's the word I'm looking for? The side evidence. I don't know the exact term. And that's Seekers of the Truth is up to rank 2. This goes up really fucking quickly. But
How
yeah.
After what happened yesterday, they said they're going to
So
tighten
yeah,
security.
it doesn't seem like
I have a
Namatame.
plan.
There's a lot of circumstantial
There's no
evidence. There you
time to
go.
waste.
There's a lot of
Let's hurry to the
circumstantial evidence
hospital.
which seems to point to Namatame not being, it being pretty much impossible for him to be.
Hey,
It
this
seems
place
to be
is off
impossible for
limits.
him to be the killer. If you know what I mean?
I'm a consultant with the police. I'd like a few words
Lies,
with Namatame.
lies
Go
and
in.
deceit.
This is Unit 252 requesting confirmation on an ID. Name of Naoto Shirogane. Huh? Ah,
Huh?
understood. I see. Well, you're on the list. I can give you a few minutes,
Good.
but I'll have to record
How
a
are these? How is he still on the
conversation
list
with
though?
him
That's
for security purposes.
she.
Not
Sorry,
that I
fucking
expect
hell.
you'll get anything
How is she
coherent
still on the
out of
list
the
though?
guy.
Hasn't she been
You've been
set?
spouting
She
nothing
was
but
set like a few
gibberish.
months ago, so I don't really get that.
I'd like him
Oh well,
to
I guess
accompany
they.
me as well. He has no
Maybe that's the
identification,
commentary
but
on the
this is an
police not
emergency
knowing,
situation, and he's here
not
in
knowing their
Detective
shit.
Dojima's stead.
Oh well.
Huh? Detective Dojima sent him? I wasn't informed of this.
I'll vouch for his identity.
This would only work in this kind of
Well,
thing,
I
in
guess
like
it's better
an
than dealing
anime
with
or
the
a
man
TV
himself.
show
We have our
where
hands full with the
uncle
transport
happens to be a
procedures,
police
so
officer
the
and be
last
able
thing
to
we
send
need is
his,
Detective Dojima running wild.
his nephew.
Detective Adachi
and it
is
would
busy
kind of-
somewhere too.
Be alright.
This is Unit 252. Huh? I see.
Has something happened?
There's something about a suspicious object out in the lobby.
Ah,
Oh, shit.
Well then, this works out nicely. You should back up your colleagues downstairs. We'll keep watch over Namatame-san. A disturbance in a hospital lobby after
Ah,
all.
the
It sounds
perfect crime.
serious.
If anything happens,
So
hit the nurse
yeah,
call button.
pretty much what has
I'll leave the
happened
rest to
here
you.
is that Jesus.
Understood.
What has happened here is that
Please be
basically they've
I knew they
planted
were
something in the
undermanned,
lobby
but I didn't expect it
in
to
order
go
to get the
this
cop out of the
smoothly.
way so they can go in and talk to Namatame without having to raise suspicion with the police officers, which is
There's nothing
pretty
much
well
inside
done.
that
That's pretty
suspicious
devious from
so he won't be
Naoto.
gone long.
All right.
Yeah,
Now's
we
our
won't have
chance
long.
to talk to Namatame.
Yeah, this what we've got now is a really, really, really long bit of dialogue with Namatame. This is gonna go well into the next part, so this is gonna take a
Namatame-san,
long ass
There's
time to
something
get
we'd
through.
like to ask you.
But it is pretty interesting stuff.
It's tempting
He's
to
all
think
freaked
that
out
you
and
were the
weirded
culprit
out and
behind
doesn't
this
like it.
entire case. And to be honest, there are many in this town who hope you are. But we are here to learn the truth. So please, answer our questions.
Yes, please, Namatame. Is that facial animations aren't the best in this game, to be honest.
Huh? Me?
So that pretty much lines up with because Yukiko was the first one of the guys who were kidnapped. She was the first one to get
They
through
were
it, and so that
killed.
pretty much lines up.
I couldn't save them.
And that's pretty much confirmation that he isn't killing people by saving
No.
them.
If nobody saves them, they'll be killed. That's why I put them in there.
And yeah, this kind of
Then tell
brings
me if my estimation is correct so
it
far.
all up to
After
this
discovering
kind of
the
brings us
Yamano
all up
and
to the
Konishi
point
incidents,
that
he realized an appearance on the Midnight Channel meant certain
that he didn't end up, he wasn't killing them, he was actually trying to, he was chucking them into the TV, but he wasn't doing it to murder them, he was doing it to keep them safe from whoever murdered the first two girls.
And you repeated the
interesting.
process as more individuals
It's kind of
appeared on the Midnight
it's
Channel.
It's kind of nice how it
all falls into place.
You started off thinking
His
in,
body
you
is
know,
weak, but his mind is sound.
one respect
He's
that
trying to tell us the truth.
he seemed pretty much dead on to be guilty, but then, you know, after that, with all this, it kind of makes sense the other way, if you know what I mean. So it's kind of, I like that kind of concept. Let's ask him. So yeah, you can basically just ask him in whatever order you want, but I just get it from top to bottom. It's just easier to go that way, I think. You get all the answers anyway. So he doesn't know who the killer is. Oh, throwing a curveball there.
I never thought it would be that kind of place.
Yeah, so he never knew what the other world was like before he before he started chucking people in there.
As I thought.
And this is pretty much all confirmation of what Naoto thought.
Did they find the one who did such cruel things? Mayumi.
God, I wish. There's one thing I wish. I wish his facial animations in game were a bit more expressive. But I think that's just the style of the game, I guess. That the expression comes through the portraits rather than
but now I think we can accept
the physical models.
As truth.
I guess they put. I think it was at the time that they didn't really have a lot of money.
Calmly.
Atlas, or they don't, you know, they don't have a great deal. Didn't have a great deal of money before they were bought by Sega anyway. And so it was pretty much they focused on getting really good voice actors, and getting really good writers to create a really good story, rather than focusing on making them the most amazing games graphically that you could possibly imagine.
Soon after my affair with
which I kind of like. It's a nice, it's a different way of going about it, which I kind of like.
Away from the scandal, and I started drinking heavily to drown my anxieties. I hadn't been able to.
So now we get to learn about Namatame's backstory, about how he first found out about all these.
Where are you? She'd been disgraced on all the
how he found out about all these
forced to resign from the program
murders and why he decided to get involved.
So much trouble. I wanted to at least apologize to her, but I couldn't even do that.
So yeah, this is pretty much how it all started out for him, with basically the because this was right at the beginning of the game where it's talked about the first victim, Mayumi Yamano, was having an affair with him, and
all of a sudden, there was Mayumi. Mayumi?
And basically,
is that you?
This is him, but you know, he's fired in disgrace, and basically, and then he discovers the
When I reached out, unthinkingly,
and then he finds out about the Midnight Channel.
Disappeared into the TV, as if I had dipped it into a pool of water.
I actually like this little section of the game where it's kind of more talking about his. It's interesting to see it from another person's point of view, them finding out about the TV world other than just our character.
What just happened? I thought maybe I'd gone insane.
Which is, you know, doesn't happen much in this game, to be fair.
It was just a dream, and I went back to the city the next day after finishing work. The next afternoon when I got to work, I was fired on the spot, as I expected. That wasn't what broke me, though. It was Mayumi being found dead.
That animation is pretty poor, I have to say. The hugging himself, shaking animation is a bit weird, but whatever. And then he stops.
Later on,
they could have worked on the animations a bit more, to be fair, but oh well. What can you do?
Could it really have been an SOS from Mayumi? I hadn't touched another TV because the first time was so terrifying, but I decided to try it again, and I confirmed that none of it was a dream. So that image, was it something Mayumi showed me?
So yeah, this is
That's how I felt.
So it was pretty much
And eventually, you
what
learned of the
kind
Midnight
of
Channel.
I remembered that when Mayumi was alive, she was chasing a rumor about
he
some
was
bizarre TV
so
program. I'd heard about it
what
before,
kind of
but
pushed him over the
I
edge was
thought it
the
was just
fact
an
that
urban
he
legend.
finds out that
Then
Mayumi
appeared
has
on it.
passed
The later
away,
turned up dead.
has
The
been
more I thought
murdered,
about it, the harder it became to believe that the two
and
events were unrelated.
he saw her on the
Soon
TV a
after
few
that,
nights before,
I came
so
back
he
to
kind of
Inaba
puts
to
two and
answer
two
the
together
police's
and
questions.
comes up with the fact
Lost
that
my
maybe
job,
this
I
TV,
wanted to know the truth
the
of Mayumi's death for
the
myself.
Midnight Channel, whatever the
Then,
fuck it is,
on another rainy night,
that
someone
is
else appeared on the Midnight
basically
Channel.
shows you the
It was a
person
girl.
who
She
dies.
looked like she was calling
You
for
know,
help,
it shows you
just like
the
Mayumi.
potential victim.
The first thing that came into my mind was, maybe this girl will be the next to die.
And that was Saki.
Yeah, so he finds out about.
I'd been following all the news
So he
about
sees
Mayumi, so I
Saki
noticed
next
right
on the
away that
TV,
she
and so
was the
he
girl who found
basically now
Mayumi's
makes a
body.
decision
And if
to
my
try
hunch was
and
right,
save
she'd
her,
be
to
the
try
next
and
victim. I didn't want her to die the way
warn
Mayumi
her
did.
about what might
So I
happen
desperately
to
kept
her.
watching. I was consumed with the idea of rescuing her. Then, little by little, her image on the screen came into sharper focus.
It became sharper?
How did you find out it was her?
After I came back, my father couldn't bear to
So
see
yeah,
me
this
in
is
such
pretty much the
desperate
same.
and gave me
It's
a
also
job
pretty
in
much
the
the same
family
thing
business.
that
I
we
met that girl
apparently
when I
went
delivered a
through
package to the liquor store.
with the Midnight Channel of, you know, it's starting off with a really fuzzy image, which is very vague,
After
and it becomes
agonizing over it,
sharper and sharper
I
until we
decided to meet
see
her.
the
I
actual
told her to
person
be
itself, themselves, which is kind of it. Yeah, it's a nice.
But that
It's.
same night,
I think somewhat. I
on
think it's
TV,
for them. It's a way of them to know that yeah, this is definitely what's happening. This is definitely the truth.
she looked as if she was
Although this is new, that he actually sees her
engulfed
being
by some
killed,
black
which
shape.
kind
She
of
was
dark.
writhing in pain.
But anyway, that's it for this
That's why I
part of
warned
Persona
her.
4
Why
Golem.
won't you pick up the phone?
Join me for the next part. We will be continuing listening to
Come on,
Namatame's story,
please.
and we'll find out what's happening with the rest of the game. See you later.